Good afternoon. Thank you for joining our webinar sessions today. My name is Tiana and with me today is Sandeep Gopalan. We are your hosts for today's webinar sessions. Both of us are GovReports staff and we have been here since 2010, so we are almost part of the GovReports furniture. And you will hear more of me and Sandeep if you haven't yet spoken to us via our technical support line. In today's sessions, we aim to introduce the GovReports for tax agents who are unfamiliar or new to GovReports. And presenting for today's webinar was initially planned for Jason McGillray. However, Jason is not well, so instead of rescheduling these sessions, both myself and Sandeep will be presenting these webinar sessions from the software point of view, as we are not tax agents like Jason's. So hopefully you can pick up a few tips on how to use GovReports for your practice. Before we start, can I get a raise of hands if you can hear me? Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Harry. Thanks, guys. Okay, it seems like you all can hear me. The webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the website by tomorrow morning for those who want to revisit at your convenience or those that cannot make today's sessions. During the sessions, if you have questions, please send them through on the chat box so we can attend to them during the questions time. So let us now get started with GovReports tax module. GovReports commenced operations 12 years ago as a cloud-based SBI-enabled tax software, enabling business BAS and tax agents to prepare, manage, and lodge compliance reports and tax returns to the SBI-enabled government agency with inbuilt digital signature, practice management tools, ATO services, and more. To demonstrate some of these features and its functionality, to get you started with GovReports easily, this is the agenda we're going to go through today. I know it's a lot of things in there, and I hope to get through as much as I can through with you. So first, we talk about the dashboard, some of the features on the dashboard what you can do with it, what you can see. Then we try to import the clients from the ATO directly or from your software. And then we talk about some of the settings that you can do. You can get set up to get started with GovReports easily. We talk about letter of authority, client profile. What features are there that you can utilize, and of course then we go into some of the ATO services that you can also get access directly from GovReports. Sandeep will then go through the tax return demo so you can see how easily it can be done and prepared, and then we talk a little bit about digital signature, which is incorporated into the system. And then, of course, if we have some time, we talk about the practice settings and some of the useful features that you can use. Now, before we go into that, a little bit of disclaimer, because a lot of majority of the sessions will be on the live demo. So we are using the testing environment. It is lower than our production environment. So if those of you are thinking, oh my God, it's taking look at spinning and so forth, it's because it's our testing environment. And secondly, we are also using the testing clients. So the ABN, the tax file number are not real. And for this reason, some of the services will not be available because these clients are not real. Okay, so let us start it. Sorry, I just got into, where did I go? Okay. Now, before you get started, when you register with GovReports, one of the three things that you must get done is to add in the business details, your business details, who's preparing or who's using the system. Then you would need to do the lodgement settings, which is the ATO software nominations. If you are using other software, the ATO software nominations can also be done with GovReports because it's not a you can have more than one software using more than one software, and they can nominate more than one software with the ATO. So to do that, like I said, when you register, this is one of the first steps that we require for you to do. So if when you got to this page, click where it says software ID, click generate to get the software ID number, and then you need to contact the ATO either through the telephone or go access to the system through Access Manager and nominate GovReports. Once you nominate GovReports, make sure you come back to this page, click activate nomination and submit, and then you are connected and you are ready to go. Now we're going to go to the live demo. I'm gonna log in. Okay, from the dashboard. I want to do the live demo instead of the slides. Just give me one moment. How do I end this show and then add in the...
Go to the browser, Tiana.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, got it. Okay, now I might get logged out because I've logged in for a little while. So let's see if it's working. This is the dashboard. So when you, of course, you know, because even though this is a testing environment, we do have a couple of previously prepared reports and lodged reports. And of course, we start, you know, some of the things that we've used, of course, in the system. You've got some outstanding reports there. Now, for the dashboard, this is the customizable dashboard. So some of the, what we call these, each of these boxes are the widgets. There's a few widgets there. And of course, over time, we will add more widgets along the way. But if you click on the customize button, those widgets that you do not wish to use, for example, if I do not wish to use the news or have my user profile on it, I can remove that, and that will be disappearing from my dashboard. Oh, I'm still logged in. Cool thing. Okay, so then also you can move around. You know, if you, whichever is important to you, can move around so that when you log into your dashboard, you can see what you need, what you want to see most. The save reports, of course, anything that you prepare and but not lodged, will be in your save reports. In here, I've got 181 save report but not lodged. If I click on that, it will show me which reports that I have prepared but not lodged, and I can see the status on it, what they are. So that whether they draft, they valid means a draft means it's not complete, but it's halfway prepared or it's just being prepared. The valid reports are basically the one that's been finalized. And of course, we also have another status, which is the signed status. If you have used the system to send it for digital signature, you will also have the status there. Now, because most of these are draft reports, so I don't have anything being signed because they're not finalized. But that's where you see all the reports that's being prepared by your practice, and which they are, what type they are, and which clients, and of course for which period, and when it was prepared, etc. And who, if you've got more than one users on your account, who has prepared them. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. And of course, you can see the lodge report, similar to the save report, but this is the lodge reports. And of course, anything that's lodged today, you can see the lodgement and who lodged them. The outstanding reports, basically, this is what I like for a lot of agents who use GovReports up to here. You can see this is the list of lodgement list that's from the ATO point of view, from the client, for the clients. So once you got this set up, it will show you which clients has unlodged reports obligation but have not prepared or lodged, and they might be overdue. So you can see the overdue, which one has not lodged. So for example, this client has an activity statement for 2014 financial year, and that's the last quarter that he has not prepared the activity statements. And of course, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but that's basically where you can see the list of reports obligations that clients have not prepared and lodged. And you can use that as your, basically to work to-do list, add on your to-do list for your clients. And of course, anything that your clients have signed, you can see the signed report, and you can go straight into this. So if you go straight into this one's, for example, signed report, you can actually, it's actually in your save reports, and you can go into that, tick them, if, for example, this one has been signed, because this one's not, I'm not going to go and look for it, but you can tick those ones. And if they are signed, the status is signed, you can tick them and lodge them in one go. I'm going to go back to the dashboard again. And on your dashboard, if you are using the practice management tool, you can see the calendar and your jobs that you have set up and but not start, or your jobs where you're at, and if where you're at, and if you can go in and update those jobs. And of course, any lodgement that you make, you can see the status, so you can see your practice activities, and of course the recent activities. Like I said, because this is a testing account, there's not so much recent activities in this account. Okay, then we're going to go to my clients now. After you have set up your account with the lodgement, with the ATO software nominations, the first thing I would recommend, if this is the first time you're using the system, is to add the client or import the clients from your ATO. It's easier than just adding one by one. But of course, if you're using GovReports for some only limited services, you can add client one by one. But otherwise, you can import the client list from the ATO. If for those that are using GovReports already, if you have already added some clients but not importing the whole list of your clients, you can still import the clients. Our system will automatically, if it's in the list from the ATO, but you already have in GovReports, our system will not have the double record. So we will sort it out and remove those clients already in the system. You can also import the client lists from your previous software in CSV file import. Now, if you are importing the clients, it will only bring across the client's name, their tax file number, and ABN, but will not bring across, it will not be able to bring across the address, contact details, etc. that you might have. But having said that, we do have a shortcut that you can do that through directly from the ATO. I'll show you that in a few moments. But like I said, because this is a testing account, I can't click import. But if you are, this is the first time you use, just just tick that and import the list, and that's it. Now, if you do have a lot of clients, it will take a little bit of time, and of course, you don't have to wait. Once you click import and close, it might take a few. If you've got a lot of clients, it might take a little bit of time, maybe half an hour or so, or even longer. But good thing is you don't have to wait for the system to complete the import, and you can go about with your other activities, maybe with 1 or 2 clients in the first that you already have in the system. Okay, let me look at the agenda, what I wanted to. So that was the dashboard, and this is the import clients. After you have import the client list, then you can go up and you can go and do other setup for you as well. The other settings that I talked about is the account settings. The account settings, now, if you are using the system it's good that you got everything set up so that when you start using the system, you would have everything ready for you. So when you're sending emails, your clients will see your records, you can see your logo in there when you're preparing letters. So it's good to get these things set up. So to put your logo onto this onto the system, if you go into where it says where it got the image, that's my image. That's basically this is the tax agent's account, and I'm pretending I'm this person. I upload my image. But if you want to upload your own image, you can. But if you click on my business, and you can also import the upload your logo on here. So where it's if you upload your logo, so when you prepare letters and templates within the system, it will also have your logo on it as well. Just click on it, and then you can browse and search for the file that you search for the logo file and upload onto the system. This is the size that we accept, so just make sure that you got the correct size. And of course, you can also on here on my profile, you can also change your username. So if that's basically the email that you use to log in, if you need to change, because when you set up the account, it might be a Gmail or something, but then if you have your own URL and your own email that you want to use, that your client can recognize, you can change that as well. Then there is security settings. This is where when you log into GovReports, there is two required by ATO, it's two-factor authentications. And on our system, we enable you to use either text message or a code to a text message to your mobile phone, or a code to your email, one of the two. But the third option is the Google Authenticator. You can click enable and then scan that, download the Google Authentication app, download it and scan it, and then have that as a third option. I find Google Authenticator to be more reliable than the text message or sometimes the code to the email address. It's entirely up to you. The third thing is, the next thing is the email settings. Now, because in the system, when you prepare the reports and of course sending letters and letter of authority, email communications, etc., you can't, if you don't do anything, it's being sent by GovReports. But if you want to send it from your own email, that would be better because your clients can recognize that it is coming from the normal email that they normally communicate with you. So you can change that, go to edit email, email settings, edit the email, and then go to the provider and select the email service provider that you use. And once you click whichever the one that is suitable, that is used by your practice, you can set it up. Just make sure this is exactly the same settings as you are when you are setting up your email on your device, on your telecommunication device. So it might be mobile phone, it might be the iPad, or exactly the same settings. You need to enter the SMTP server and SMTP port, but because I choose Gmail, it doesn't have that. But if I use others, most of the time, you would need to enter the SMTP server and SMTP port details that's matching with your email service provider's requirements. Once you do that, you make sure that you test the outgoing email, that it's working. And if it's working, then, basically you're almost set and done. Okay, if you set up others, make sure you also, the other thing is put the email signature, copy and paste your email signature onto here, and that will be also on your every emails that you get sent out from the system. It will have your email signature being sent. One other features, I'm going to put back to GovReports so that we can send out emails in the testing email. Now, the other features that it's also useful as well is email log. Just check everything here, that anything that gets sent from the system, you can see the list of all the email that gets sent out from the system, whether it's a lodgement receipt, it's things that you got sent out for digital signature, or letter of authority that you send out to get authorizations. Whatever it is that you send out from the system, or we have a copy here. You will get a copy here. This is just an image copy, but it's not an actual copy of the email that you sent out. It is an image. Like I said, it's just an audit trail so that we can see what's going on in your, you can see what's going on in your account, whether it's working or not. And if it's not working, you can go back and find out and resend them if it's, for those that don't get sent. Now, the email log is only kept for 3 months. So after 3 months, it will be deleted. If you are using your own email and you are set up to send email out using your own, sorry, you customize your outgoing email with your own email, even though you can also check that, even though we've got email log here, but you can also check it from your own email folder, the send folder, to see which email has been sent out from the system because it's linked. Okay, and other things, the outstanding, after you got the setting is the account and the setting is done, one of the settings that I like to set up as well is the lodgement settings, which is the when you finish, when you prepare and lodge something for your clients, you can also set it up so that it automatic, for those that you want to send automatically lodgement receipt, especially for activity statements, or for those companies that do, I don't think we do company tax returns here, but if you click here, if you go into lodgement setting and go to report settings, this is where you automatically set up so that it automatically sends lodgement receipt to your clients together with the payment options and the lodgement receipt and the actual report to your client. You can set it up there. Once you click that, and you just need, this is the cover letter, the cover email, but if you need to change it, you can change it. There's a few placeholders that you can put in there so that it will identify your clients and pre-fill some of the details of it. So it's already there, the cover email, but if you don't like, customize it to your own needs. And of course, then you can also set it up so that the lodgement receipt will automatically be sent to your clients when you prepare the activity statements or whatever that is for your clients, that you prepare for your clients. Okay, and yep, you can assign all, or you know, or just a few clients that you prepare the documents for them. So that's basically the setting is done. Then once you got it set up, this another setting that I like to do is the outstanding report. This is, like I said, I think it's important because it will list out all the activity statement, all the tax returns, or that's you know, for the clients that are on your portal. Just before to set it up, so you need to go into My Lodgement, Outstanding Reports, and of course the action tab. Here you can click Client Configurations, and you can select which clients you want to receive the outstanding reports for. I normally like to put it to 100 so I can see the whole list of my clients, and then, you know, bulk the list. But if some of them are no longer your clients, or some of them, you know, you don't actually provide the lodgement services, then you can untick them. I know some tax agents only do the tax advice, so if you don't do it for them, then you just untick them, and that will not bring across the outstanding reports for them. But like I said, I like these features because, and a lot of our agents who use GovReports love these features because it gives them an upcoming, you know, a list of work that they can plan around it. And of course, from this, you can basically create the jobs, and you know, if and especially for clients that are that have not heard from you, it would bring them the details that their lodgement have not been up to date, and you can also, you know, start planning the work around for them. Once you select the clients, you just make sure that you save the list. And if you, in this case, save the list that, you know, for the clients that you want to get outstanding reports for. And if you've got more than 100 clients, like I said in this page, if you've got more than 100 clients, make sure you click next, and also, you know, select the clients and then save it. Once you have selected the clients for the outstanding reports, you may also want to set up how often you want to sync, to get synchronized from the system, from the ATO, automatically sync, so that you don't have to do it each time. So this is currently manual. Just make sure you have it, you know, set up so that it automatically sync. I prefer weekly, but for those that have a lot more clients, and you might want to do it daily, but those that have less, you probably like to do a fortnight or monthly. Entirely up to you. Now, make sure also, if you on that list, if you go once it's synced, if the clients are not on your ATO portal, you will get an unsynced list or unsynced list, and you might want to find out, you know, which clients are not on your ATO portal, and maybe you might want to contact the clients and find out what's the issues. It might get bumped out, not too sure for whatever reasons, but if they are not on your ATO portal, are they still your clients? Just, you know, that might be some work for you to do, and follow up with the clients, and you know, and maybe get some extra work from them. Okay, so now we finished with some of all the settings. We now go to the client's profile. I'm going to go to my clients and select one of the clients that I want to do. Now, if you've got a list of clients and it might be a bit troublesome to trying to search for them with the alphabetical order, you can just go straight into here, type in the client's name. So I'm going to click Celino. Okay, and it will just bring out all the clients with the Celino name, and I can select which clients I want to work on. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna pick on one of them. Just see if this one works. Like I said, this is a testing account, so it might not work. I have a few things that I have already worked on this client. Current form, so what's outstanding, this is something that I have not started, have not done it. I've started offline draft. Offline draft is when you can prepare an activity statement offline, because offline means that it's not connected to the ATO to get pre-filling. So if the ATO is offline, is completely not available, you can, if you want to get started with the work, you can prepare it offline and not get any pre-filling. That's what it means by offline, but I can click to edit to continue, or just leave it there as it is. Now I've got a few company tax returns here, so that's basically the work in progress on the client's profile. Whatever that you're working on, it will be shown here, and of course there's quite a few things that's there, right? And of course overdue jobs, etc., upcoming jobs, this is based on your outstandings, but of course there's nothing because it's not a real account. We've got one outstanding, but that's it. On overview, it will give you a list of, it will show you the client's details, the associating with the client, the ABN, their contact details, basically everything about the company. And if you need to update it, you can click edit, or click edit here and change the details. Now I mentioned before, if this is the client that you have import from the ATO or import from the other software that across, and you haven't got the contact details, you can click edit and go in here and update one by one. Right, update the details, the client's name, contact details. These are needed to when you prepare the reports for the clients. It will get preview on the form. So especially for the payroll, the SDP, payroll events, it will have the employer's details on it. So you would need the contact details of the employer. And of course, if you're going to use digital signature or you're going to be sending reports to the clients, you need to put their email address in here so that the system will automatically pick up. Otherwise, if you don't put their email address in here, each and every time that you prepare the report and send for signature, you would need to put their email address in each and every time. I know if it's, like if you don't feel it's you set it up once and it's good for subsequent times that you use the system. And of course the business details that need to be there so that you get preview on some of the forms that you when you prepare the reports for the clients and lodge to the ATO. If you don't do that, our system will prompt you to fill in the details for the clients anyway, because you can't prepare the reports without the client's contact details and address, etc. Like I said, if you don't have, when you first import the client list, it will not have the client's contact details, etc. You can go into it. This is a quick, a shortcut to cheat, or a cheat sheet. You can click sync from the ATO and it will bring across the details from the ATO, their contact names, their address, etc., directly from the ATO. It might not work because this is a testing account. So it will bring across from what the ATO has about these clients, so their contact details, their address, their telephone number, etc. It will give you the details, and if you want to update it onto GovReports, you can confirm, and voila, that's it. It's just a click and 2 clicks to get the contact details onto your GovReports. Of course, if the ATO doesn't have it, then you need to put it in. Okay, I'll stop that because I know this is a testing account. We won't have the details pre-filled from the ATO. Now we're going back to the client's profile. Anything that you prepare and draft for the clients, it will be in the valid and draft, and anything that you've lodged will be in the lodge tab. So we've got a few that we repair but not lodge. It will bring across the list. That was earlier due to the ATO, the sync from the ATO. okay, that error message. But this is the list of all the reports that are prepared for the clients but have not lodged. You can see there's a few offline draft, and there's a few draft there, etc. We'll go into that shortly after. Anything that we've lodged will be in the Lodge tab. And of course, if you have more than one user on your account, who else have access to these clients? Who else have you given access to these clients? So if you, like I said, if you've got more than one users on this account, you can organize what this person can do, and you can assign the clients to the clients to the staff member, and what they can do on the client's account. The ATO account is this is where you get access to the integrated client's account and the income tax account for the clients. So like I said, this is a testing account, so we won't be able to get anything here. But if you click synchronize, it will bring across the income tax and also the integrated client's account if this is a business account. And of course, you can once you've got that, you can click list to view to see the transactions, and of course you can sort it out as, I think it goes as far as 2012 or 14. It goes pretty early. So all the transaction that the client has with the ATO, and you can see that list. And of course, sometimes it's good for you to get access directly from here, so that you can discuss with the clients when you've lodged a tax return for them and there is a tax payment obligation. You can see it directly from here, and advise the clients accordingly. Then of course, you've got jobs and invoices. If you start using the practice management tool, the jobs that are associating with these clients and the invoices that are associating with these clients. The letters and templates, any letters that you prepare or lodge or that's sent to the client from the system, you can see directly from here. And in this case, we got a SDP letter of authority for these clients. It is being drafted, but it's not being sent. And of course, like some of the letter of authority, it would have a commencement date and an end date, so that because a letter of authority, as you know, it's a year by year, or it's each and every time. Each and every time you can use it from the system, but for annual letter of authority, you can have it sent from the system and then keep track of it, so that if you use it for this year, next year you might need to do it again. Otherwise, if you get audited, it's not a pretty sight. And of course, you're using the practice management tool. Reminder and appointment, you can set it up here. Just basically click on that and put in the details of the appointment or the reminder that you want, and add it to your calendar. Now, GovReports practice management tool or calendar is integrated with Outlook and Google. So if you're using one of those, it will merge into your calendar and of course bring across into GovReports calendar. So when you hook up, or when you go to your dashboard, you can see all your appointments, or you go straight into your calendar and you can see what's upcoming. File note, I love file note because it's pretty simple. It's easy to keep audit trails and what's going on with your clients. If your clients give you a call while you on the road or something like, you can go straight into here, put in a note, the client call, payment, they want to delay, etc. You put in a note, and then enter, and that's it. It's records. And so later on, if because of course in a day we deal with so many situations with so many clients, we might not remember everything that we've done or the client's request. You can just simply put a quick note on there, and that's there so that you can come back to it. Anything that, because GovReports does not keep records of all your clients, and sometimes you keep other records outside of GovReports, you can attach whatever is important. You can upload the file here. Now we don't store your data. You need to store it in either Dropbox or Google Drive, but set it up so that you would have a shortcut access directly from here, which is basically means it's easier for you to get access to the documents of your clients, but also at the same time having it safe, that of course we don't have every access to your clients' details, etc. Billing settings. Now, this is one of the options for billing settings. If you charge the clients based on the hourly rate and based on their based on the clients, depending on your clients, you can set it up here. But otherwise, you can also set it up by the job, billing based on the job, or based on the task, or staff hourly rate. That will be in the practice settings. So that's basically on the client's profile. One other thing is the ATO services. Now, like I said, we are integrated for ATO services online, so that it makes it easier for you. Now, one other thing in here that we haven't got in here, well, before let's go into the ATO services here that you can on the client's profile. So you can, if this is a new client, you can go to maintain authorization to add this client onto your ATO portal. Or if this client is no longer your client, you can remove them. You can update the client's address, the contact details. You know, they might have a new director or new authorized person you want to add on to the ATO portal. You can update that. And of course, you can also update the financial institutions. And if this is an individual client or you know, there's no non-lodgement advice, or because there's no income, whatever, you can put in the non-lodgement advice instead of preparing the new tax return for the clients. You can also submit it directly from here. One of the service of the ATO services that we don't have it here is in the testing account only. It's because it's not a real account, so we don't have anything coming up on here. Is the ATO client communications. We have it integrated for that as service as well. So if you go into my practice and click on ATO client communication, click enable. Click enable, and that will be on your client's profile and also from here. So you can get all your clients' communications, whichever, when the ATO contact the clients, whether it's for whatever it might be an email, it might be a phone call, a text message, or whatever the ATO has sent to the clients, you would get a copy of that from here. And of course, you can notify the clients that has happened, so they will not be alarmed when they see those details, because that you are aware of it. If you, like I said, if you click enable, that will be on your client's profile as well, and you can see that's the client communication relating to that client on the client's profile. Now, I think that's pretty much for me. I'm going to pass over to Sandeep. Before we pass it over to Sandeep, any questions? I'm sorry if I've gone too fast.
Yeah, now we had one question from Robert.
Okay, so Robert asked, does an email sent to the client then get saved under the client file in the practice management area?
No, obviously we don't save it under the client profile or client file, all the emails. As you mentioned earlier, the emails are maintained separately under the account settings, which we maintain only the last 3 months log.
Robert, if it's part of the letters and templates, that it's under the letters and template, it will be maintained on your on the client's profile. But if it's a lodgement receipt, it's a report that you sent, we don't maintain it. I hope that answered your questions. Okay, so I'm now going to pass over to. Okay, there's another question from Patrick. Which returns can I lodge? Patrick asked, which return can you lodge with GovReports? You can lodge all the tax returns, the company tax return, individual tax return, semi-super fund tax, annual return, fringe benefit tax, partnership tax return, trust tax returns. So all the tax return from 2012 onward. 2011 for business tax returns, and individual from 2012 onwards.
In addition to that, all the employer obligation reports like activity statements, tax file number,
all the compliance.
Thanks.
Okay, Sandeep, I'm going to make you the presenter now. So can you go through the?
Sorry, Tiana, you can just give keyboard and mouse feature to me. I can show the demo on the same account.
Okay. Okay, can you direct me? Yep. I'm gonna.
go on top to the sharing.
Sharing.
Go to webinar, sharing.
Sharing.
Now you can see the go to webinar settings where you do the recordings.
Yeah.
On the top, it should be on the top, sharing.
I see file.
Now, do you see the webcam, audio, dashboard?
Yep.
Yeah. So on top, which the section is called sharing.
I don't have sharing. I have option, file options.
No, just below that, the modules.
Audience. No. Webcam, audios, dashboard. I don't have sharing.
Okay, you can make me as a presenter. I'll just start from my account. That's okay. Okay, done. Can you able to see my screen, Tiana?
Yep, I can see your screen.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks, Tiana. So today, let me show you the demo, the iReturn, how you need to start the iReturn, how it works with GovReports, including the pre-fill, rollover, and so in case if the client is not already added into the GovReports, how do you use the pre-fill to add the client? So just let me start from the client profile. So from my clients, if the client is new to you, you will go to my clients and click on the new, and as long as so you can see all the details over here. So when you go, there are two types of clients that we categorize. One is non-individual, the other one is individual. Basically for iReturns, you need to select as an individual and then the TFN. So basically this is a test TFN. Once you enter a TFN, you will get an option, click to pre-fill information from ATO. If the client is already associated with your TAN, then automatically the client information will be pre-filled from ATO. And we do have an options over here as well, import from ATO and pre-fill, ATO pre-fill. You can use these features. So today, which I'm going to show the individual tax return for 2021, which I've already completed the 2020 financial year tax return. I'll show you how you need to do the rollover, pre-fill, and then start the tax return. I'm just going to find the client now. So I'm just going to choose this client, John Kennedy. And when I go and select the client, I'll be going to the forms. So where you can see all what type of forms are eligible for this client type. So whereas which is an individual type client, so all the forms which are applicable for individual clients will be listed. Whereas if you've selected a non-individual client, you will be getting a different list of forms on the list. So now I'm just going to choose the individual tax return. And now we show only the 2020 and 2021 financial year. And in case if you want to do the tax return for prior years, you may need to click the green button, which will give you an option from 2012 to 2019. So on this list, which you can see that the 2020, which has been already processed, which shows that the tax return has been already completed. In case if you want to do an amendment, you can choose the amendment button. So now I'm just going to start the 2021 financial year. So which the status is shown as new, and under the actions we have a start button and non-lodgement advice. In case if the taxpayer wants, is not eligible to do the tax return this year, then you may need to complete the non-lodgement advice to the ATO. And this taxpayer, which I'm going to select as a start, when you click on the start button, there'll be another window will be pop up, so which will show you the details of a TF1 client and then the rollover. So it may ask you, by default, the rollover will be set to yes. In case if you don't want to roll over the prior year tax return details to the current year, you may need to select as no. And on the rollover, there are two options, whether you want to roll over the main form in addition to the schedules or only the main form. These are the two options that we have. Then pre-fill. Pre-fill is basically we do all the GovReports will pull out all the pre-fill information from ATO. So like income statement, interest, whatever that has been submitted to the ATO, all the pre-fill will be automatically pre-filled. And there is another feature like the pre-fill information. So what we are asking is that if you want to add this client, I mean to update this client, you can use it. And there is another option, pre-fill and rollover options. So basically, in case if there is the information clashes, then you can use the overwrite option, or you can use an append options to prepare the tax return. In this case, I'm just going to use the rollover as a default. I'm just leaving it as a default settings what we have at GovReports, and create a report. It means that it will roll over, then pre-fill, and then overwrite in case if there is a records already available on the rollover or on the pre-fill. It will fix up all the issues. This is our new latest, the tax return, the flow which we have started from 2020 onwards. Prior to 2020, there will be the look of tax return will be different. So the tax return, so we have three modules that we have separated. So one is on the left hand side, we'll have navigations of all the sections, the menus, the navigation menu. The middle part will be the tax return, where you need to enter all the details. On the right hand side, we have the error window, like which we show the error window, and then when you click on the errors, we will have a view and what type of error it is, and then the details of how you need to fix that with the steps to resolve. And basically, when you click on that, it will automatically takes you to the section where the error is occurred and what you need to fill. And the main form, let me start from the beginning. On the main form, we have split into different sections like personal details. The personal details will be the taxpayer details which are already pre-filled from the client information and also from the ATO pre-fill. And Medicare and private insurance, spouse details, adjustments and income test, salary and wages, rental income, business income. These are the sections that we have for the main form. Recently, ATO has updated that all the information which has been completed through the tax return requires the schedules. Even for previously, for income details, the schedules was not required. But from 2020 onwards, the schedule is required. So all the sections on the main form from the salary and wages, so should be added through the schedules. So over here, when I'm just starting on the schedules, so on the schedules, we have an income schedule. Under the income schedules, we have three sections like income statement, other income details, business partner or trust income. So it has been split into three, the income details. And the income statement, you can add multiple income statements. So which you can see that on the navigations, there are the plus, the green plus symbol, which will allow you to add multiple schedules. Like if in this case for income statements, at the moment there is only one income statement. In case if there is another income statement, you can use this plus symbol to add multiple income statements. Basically, these income statements will be automatically pre-filled from the ATO. And deductions, capital gain tax, rental property, you can add multiple rental property schedules, and then non-resident foreign income schedule and other attachments. These are the details which will be sent to the ATO. And also to complete this tax return, we have worksheets. So to make the work easier, so the worksheets will help you so these worksheets will be maintained only on the GovReports, and will not be sending it to the ATO. So once you complete this worksheet, all the worksheet values will be transferred to the schedule and also to the main form to complete the tax return. And so we have a partnership and trust worksheet, individual offset worksheet, business worksheet, depreciation, capital gain, foreign income, livestock and produce account, superco contribution, and then motor vehicle worksheet. These are the worksheets that we have for the individual tax return. And on the top, if you could see that, so you can see the tax estimate, which will show the tax estimate, instant tax estimate on the GovReports. So whenever you do the entry into the tax return, you can see the tax estimate. And so the view tax estimate, if you want to see the detail of the tax estimate, so when you click on that, it will take you to the screen where the tax estimate can be detailed over here. And so on the over here, we show the status as a draft. And then the reports, when you go to the reports, there are features like PDF, report without identifier. This is one of the feature which recently the more tax agents wants that. They don't want to show the TFN on the reports. So it means if you use this option, then the report, the PDF copy will not have a TFN of the taxpayer. And then email options. This report can be directly sent as an email from you. And adding the notes. The notes, when you add the notes can be created as a report. So in case if the pre-fill has been not done in the first place, and there is another option over here that you can do the pre-fill. And let me show you how to resolve these errors, and then which has, let me start from one. Just let me show that. So it's that the salary and wages clauses deductions must be provided. So in this case, for example, the schedules has been, income schedule has been created, and then the amount has been not pre-filled. So I'm just adding some figures to that. Once I add the details in the income schedule and save income details, so automatically you can see the tax estimate has been already changed. And these errors, which shows that the form, which shows that IATR means it's a main form. Its DDC is called the deductions. When you click on this, it takes you to the deduction section where it says that which has been rolled over from the previous year. These descriptions has been rolled over, but the amount has been not rolled over. That's why we just add the details. And in this case, let me show you that. And we have only 2 errors now. So when you click on this error, it takes you to the screens, which is the number of days not liable for surcharge. 0. And finally, it takes you to the declaration section. So which is on the declaration, I want to just start this declaration. Declaration section, we have 3 categories, like family assistant consent, and then taxpayer declaration, which you can see that on the over here. So when you just click on the show, it can show the taxpayer declaration. And by default, the taxpayer declaration and the tax agent declaration will appear on the PDF copy. But in case if you need the family assistant consent, you need to tick on the show, then it will be appear on this on the PDF copy. Once the declaration done, so you can see there is no errors but warning. So warning won't stop you from the lodgement. You can do the lodgement to the ATO. So after this, when it comes to the final section, there are lodgement types. There are save as draft, pre-lodge. You can do the pre-lodge, which is validating. The report will be sent to the ATO, and we do the validation and make sure that everything is perfect, and then you can send it to the ATO. And there is validate, and you can save the report. And the 4th option will be save, validate, and send for signature. This is the Tiana is going to cover on the digital signature after this. So which you can send it to your clients through the digital authorization, and then the client can get a notification to view the tax return, and they can complete the authorization through online. And when you use the lodge option, for this section, Tiana, I'm just selecting as a save and validate. You can use this for this.
Before you click save and validate, is any questions on the tax returns itself?
Let me see that.
We don't have any questions at this stage, but similar with other tax returns, the schedule will be on the left-hand side, and the errors, so that we give you so that you can resolve one by one. When, of course, it's flexible and you can skip from one section to another. That's it. And when you get to the last section, which is the save and lodge, you would have the option, as Sandy mentions, a few options there. You can save as a draft if you haven't completed all the details, or you haven't got all the information from the ATO, from the clients to finalize the tax returns. Then you can save it as a draft and come back to it later. Otherwise, save and validate or save and validate and send for signature. Sandy, can you click save, validate, and send for signature?
One moment, Tina. Before that, I want to show one more thing. So each sections, we have an option over here, the buttons. So in case if the sections will allow them to add the worksheet, whichever the worksheet is applicable, they can see the worksheets over here, the link to add the worksheets. For example, now I am on the business income. So the business income will have add trust and worksheet, and then each sections will have a separate, the quick links are available. Okay, let me go to this one, save and send for signature. When I click on the submit, so it's basically after saving the records, it's connecting to the ATO, and then it shows that the report has been validated. And
while we're waiting for it, Ben has a questions relating to the lodge, save and lodge sections. The question is, should you do the pre-lodge before save and validate? Ben, you don't have to do the pre-lodge. Pre-lodge just means that it's, sometimes it's, you want to check whether this works with the ATO and it's validating with the ATO, but it doesn't say that the data, and it doesn't retain with the ATO. Pre-lodge is like validate, but it does not save the records. So you don't need to pre-lodge if you don't want to. Pre-lodge, like I said, if you're testing the ATO, whether what ATO has on the clients, you can use that, but it doesn't save.
But still, before we
validate,
so before we validate and send for signature, we are doing the pre-fill option internally.
Yeah. I think the question was pre-lodge.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling, the pre-lodge. In case if you don't use pre-lodge before lodging the report, we are doing the pre-lodge in first hand, and then only we will be sending for signature, or it's a direct lodgement. We'll be sending to the lodgement before the lodgement request. We do the pre-lodge automatically.
Okay, so with digital signature, once you click save and validate and send for signature, and if the report, the return is validated with the ATO and it's all good, you would then, the tax return that you prepared earlier is now attached to on this page to send off for digital signature. Now you can upload additional documents along with these tax returns, and you can click upload file, and you can attach as many files as you need. We don't have a restriction, the number of files that you can attach. The types of files that you can upload here, it might be an invoice along with these tax returns, it might be worksheets, it might be work papers that you have on the clients, or documents that you want to attach along for the clients to preview before use for them to authorize for you. Then of course, if you've got previously you've got the client's contact detail on their profile, it will come across. In this case, Sendip didn't have the client's email, so I'm going to put my own email. Right, I'm going to put my own email there, and like I said, if I put it here, it will not save on the GovReports system, but I would have to rely on it each and every time. But if you have it saved on the client's profile, it will bring out cost, and you can, subsequent times when you send the report to the client, it will automatically pick up. Okay, so on the recipient, you can, if this is a company tax return or a partnership tax return, you can add additional persons onto it. But otherwise, if this is the only person, this is an individual tax return, and this person needs to sign, it's a signee, and that's fine. But you can also add additional persons onto the system if it's onto the email for signing, if it's a partnership tax return, or it's a trust or a company where there are multiple partners. And of course, you can also send private messages to the additional person that you add onto the system, depending on who they are. Now, we do have a very thorough webinar on digital signature, so I will go very briefly on here, so I won't go through in details like we have in the other webinar. If you add additional person, you can have that as person as a view-only access, or this person needs to sign. I'm going to remove this because we're not going to need it. And of course, in our system with digital signature system, it does have some default cover emails, and you can use that for, in this case, it's an individual tax return. We have a cover email for individual tax return, but if you want to customize that, you can customize it. And if you customize and you want to save it for your own use subsequent times, you can do so, customize it, and then there's an option for you to save or copy and paste this onto your own template and save it as so that you can reuse it subsequent times. Because this is an individual tax return, if you want to set up a deadline for the client to come back, you can do so and have a document expire whatever date that you want. So if this document, you give the clients 30 days to come back and 1 day notification of expiry maybe, and an automatic reminder for the clients each and every week. So 7 days after they receive the initial receipt of this email, and repeat every 7 days, for example. So you can say that, and that will basically, once this email has been sent out for the clients to get the clients, notify the clients to authorize for you, after if it has been sent today, 7 days later, they will automatically get a reminder if they haven't signed, and that will repeat every 7 days after that. And they will also get a notification that document will expire 1 day beforehand if they haven't signed by then. If you're happy with everything, you can click preview, and that will give you a preview of what the clients will see when they receive the email from you to sign these documents. If they click review and sign, that will take them over to where they need to sign, where they need to create the signature and sign for you by a click. So if you're happy with everything, click next and mark where the client needs to sign. Now, because this is an individual tax return, the tax agents will need to sign that as well. So to place your own signature, you click place my signature and go where you need to sign. Click, this is signature for the tax agents. And because I haven't set up my signature, I have, okay. Oops. Okay. Place my signature. As a tax agent, I'm gonna sign this document when I send it off to my clients. Otherwise, I have to add myself on as, see where I put the mouse, my name come along with it, right? And if I'm happy with that, I just move up a little bit. Move up a little bit, okay. So, sorry, because I'm using the mouse, but Sendip is actually controlling that. So Sendip can click sign, put my where my signature is, and he can put my click, and then he can sign it. All right, and then I click over set the signature locations, and that's where I marked. I click to mark where the client needs to sign. Come on, Sendip. So when Sendip is moving the mouse, and he marked a tick where he wants the clients to sign, he would tick that, and it would show where the client needs to sign. All I have to do then is click send for signature, and the client will receive that that email that we saw in the preview. We won't send it today. Like I said, it's probably if you want more details on the digital signature, you can go to one of our webinar which we had earlier last week on digital signature specifically, and that will show you a lot more features of the digital signature. But that's it. Once you click send for signature, it will send, and the clients will receive that email that you sent through, and it's and I wait for them to authorize. Once you send on GovReports, the report that the return that you just sent for signature, it will now be in the save reports that you can get access from the dashboard and also from the client's profile. So on the client from the save reports, once you click on it, it will have the options to actually print it. Click report to print the actual return, and that will give you in the PDF versions. And like I said, it depends on whether you wanted to have your the tax file number appear on it or not. Report without identifier would remove the tax file number. That will give you the copy of the return. And if you go back to save report, you would also have the options to email to your clients. That's if you want to send it off, because might be the client say, oh, I just want to get a copy of it. Can you send it to me? You can also click send to the client. And if you have the client's email address, it will pre-fill there. But otherwise, if you want to send to someone else, if maybe their partner wants a copy of it and it's authorized by the clients, you can click other and put in their email address and send it. Remember your email signature. Now, I did have my email signature earlier, so you can see it at the bottom of the email if you send it to others. But if you click to send it to yourself, the email signature won't come along. But that's where you also can send email signature. So that's basically it about the tax returns. Any questions? Okay, we don't have any questions at this stage. And you can see, I'll just go back to the save reports. Sandeep, can you go to the save reports listing?
Yeah, you can have it. We are on the saved reports, Tiana.
Okay, so no, actually the listing that I want to see the whole list of all the save reports. So the individual tax return that Sandeep has prepared earlier, you can see here. Now the status is valid and it's pending for signature. Now because it's valid, that means it's validated, it's finalized, but it's awaiting for the client to sign. You can click to tick that, and you can lodge it if your clients have signed it. If you send it off by email and the client printed out and sign it and then send you a scanned copy of it, you can click send and you can click lodge, select it. Now this means that it's lodged without the digital signature, but you might want to make a file note on the client's profile that the client has given you a PDF copy outside of GovReports. And and if that's the case, you can attach the client's profile in the attachment, and that will be separate from here from the system. So that's one of the options that you can use. Okay, and then you can lodge these tax returns. We won't lodge it, like I said, because it's not a real case. Now also if you want to get a copy, if the client has signed it, you can want to get a copy from it, you can click onto the save report and or go to back to the digital signature, get a copy of what the client has signed. If ever that you get a request from the clients that they want a another copy of it. So that's basically digital signature and the tax returns. I know we went over time. Any questions? Okay. We do have other webinars. While we're waiting for anyone to send through the questions, we do have other webinars that cover other topics, including practice management tool, which is tomorrow. For those that are interested in practice, how to use practice management, Office Practice Manager on GovReports. It will be a lot more detailed than what I can cover today. I already have gone over time. And also some of the other features that, of course, we couldn't cover everything on GovReports. There's a lot of features that you can use as well. But please tune into one of our webinars for a more extensive coverage of these topics that you can make use for your practice. Okay, so it doesn't look like we do have another questions. No, we don't. Okay. Now, if we haven't covered all the questions that you might have, please do not hesitate to contact us and let us know that you have questions. We'll be more than happy to come back to you. Like I said, apologies that we have gone over time today. Once again, thank you for your support and your coming on to our webinar today, and apologies from Jason, he could not make it. We hope to see you again next time. Thanks again. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sandeep.
Thanks, Tiana. Thanks, everyone.